Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. And you know this. Greetings, my ninjas and my fellow creators. It's Tux back with another tutorial. We're doing a quick one today. And first, I want to start off with explaining why I said ninjas. If you didn't know, I was motivated and inspired to start doing the tutorials initially from the group that I participate in called Jawborn Sample Flip Groups on Facebook. If you are not, you need to go look it up and you need to join. Come be a part of the Chop group, man. When I say chop, we sample chop. So we take samples, we chop them up, we make dope beats. It's a dope group. I'm learning a lot. As you can see, I'm trying to give back. Man, it's good stuff. So with that said, go on Facebook, look us up, Jawborn Sample Flip Group. Okay, today, do a real quick one. I'm talking about an effect. It's an effect you can do on vocals, and it's real easy, somewhat. I say it like that because it's a couple steps, but they're not hard steps. All you gotta really do is know the process. I'm gonna show you the process, and then you just gotta apply it and do it like it was Nike. Alrighty, so we're gonna get into it. The Poltergeist effect. That's the name of the effect. Poltergeist effect. So what do we do with it, and what do we need? Okay, so what do we do with it? Well, primarily it's used for vocals. At least that's how I use it. And every time I heard it, cats are using it on vocals. So today we're gonna start with a vocal from a mix from an artist named Seabass. I'm putting it out there. He's a local artist in Dallas, man. Check him out. Dope music, love the brother spirit. He knows what he wants. But anywho, we're using his vocals today. Of course, the effect I'm going to do, I didn't put in the mix. He didn't really ask for it. He wanted it simple. And this is a little extra anyway. But anywho, we're going to use his vocals. Again, Seabass, check him out. So, what you want to do when you go to the mixing view is you want, depending on what DAW you're using, I'm using Pro Tools if you can't tell, you need to add 2 additional tracks. So, I have one labeled reverb, and then the other one I just labeled effects. Now what you're doing is I'm going to take a section of the vocal that I want to use right here, and I'm going to copy it, right? And I'm going to put it on the reverb track. Now the reason I'm putting it on the reverb track because that's the track the effect is going to take place. So what happens is we're playing that with the reverb, and it's going to be recorded into the effect track. So what you have, essentially, you're using a plug-in to make an effect, and you're recording it back into the program so you can use it later on or wherever you want to in your song. So, what do I have up here on the reverb? Of course, I have a real simple reverb. I'm using Deverb. Comes with Pro Tools. It's pretty good. Well, it doesn't really come with Pro Tools, but you know what I'm saying? It's not a hard one to find. So, what I did is I went to the presets and use anything large. You don't really have to use large church, but you want a large something. The reason you want a large something is because you're going to have that decay, and that's the main thing you're recording in the Poltergeist effect. It's this long decay, and that's what you want. And me, I added a little more decay because on the preset, I think it opened up like around 12. Put it back on 18 without the zoom. Okay. So again, on your reverb track, just add some reverb to it, and you should be straight. Now, on your effect track, I went ahead and put my plugins that I wanted to have on there so it can, pretty much be heard in this little tutorial. But of course, if you open up your own track, it's probably gonna be dry and basic until you do something to it. So, what we're going to move next to is the part where you need to copy and paste some things, and I'm going to show you your process of what you need to do and how you can do it. So if you're not doing it, I do recommend putting it in some grid mode. And every DAW has a grid mode. Grid mode essentially allows you to set the tempo, and if you're not setting tempos to your mixes, shame on you. You're making your work a whole lot harder. Setting the tempo at the beginning of every session is essential, man, to a good workflow, especially if you want to mix and do some editing and anything, post. It helps, especially if it's not a floating tempo song. Most songs nowadays are not floating tempos, so if you're not setting tempo, set your tempo. But you will need to set a tempo to make it easier, okay? You don't have to, but it's a whole lot easier if you did. So with the tempo set, I'm able to use my grid to, I guess, the structure and the time signatures of the song. So what you want to do is just find the first couple measures. You don't have to go that deep into it. And I'll show you how much that was. Which I just installed. That's why I'm using it extra style, because I'm excited about it. But you just get that little part, and you simply just want to copy it, and you can paste it pretty much anywhere on that reverb track. I'm just gonna go paste it. Right? Well, I did a little too much. So we're gonna redo that again, and I'm gonna copy, and then we're gonna paste. Cool. Now, what I want to do next is in Pro Tools. It's pretty easy. Just go to Audio Suite and Others. This is feature called Reverse. So that's what you want to do. You want to reverse it, because what you're going to do is you're going to record. Actually, I need to do that. You're going to record it reverse, and pretty much with the reverb on there, that's where you're getting the effect. You're getting the effect of something being recorded backwards with a whole lot of decay, and then when you turn it around, it pretty much lines up with this really dope effect that we call Poltergeist. So in order to make that happen, you just want to go ahead and flip it around. You can really start anywhere with it. I usually always line it up evenly with what I just moved. It's just a habit of mine. Doesn't really make it sound different. So you go over here to your effects track, and on Pro Tools you have to arm it. Go to your transporter. I don't want to do that. That's not what we want to do, but you can go to normal. Okay. Go to your transport, arm record, and hit record.
I had a Toyota, shit was digital, white and black, trying to keep the engine turned.
Boom. So that's all we do now. So we unarm it. You can get rid of what you just recorded right there. And now, what I like to do is just shave some of this to where it's even. Boom. And then, of course, you just flip it. So you go back to wherever you need to go to reverse it. Go to Audio Suite and render. And then it should sound something like this.
First car I had a Toyota, shit was digital, white and black, trying to keep the engine turning like timing belts off the rail.
I'm gonna play it one more time, man. I really like that. And we're gonna mute the beat.
First car I had a Toyota, shit was digital, white and black, trying to keep the engine turning like timing belts.
That's how you do the Poltergeist effect. So again, man, I'm gonna recap that. All you're doing is getting you 2 audio tracks. So once you get your 2 audio tracks, you copy a little bit of the beginning of whatever you want to make the Poltergeist effect with. Copy that, reverse it, record that part, and then take whatever you recorded, reverse that so it's going back forward, and just align it to where it sounds right to you. Usually, the reason I grid, if you look at the measures, I'm just counting 4 measures ahead of it, and boom, it's right where it needs to be. So for me, the grid helps because it helps me just place it where I know it's gonna sound right, and I don't really have to question it. So again, man, that's the Poltergeist effect. I hope it made sense, man. I had a good time doing this for you guys. Again, if you haven't, like something, comment on something I do, subscribe to my YouTube, tutorials by Tug. projects. Let me know what I can do, what we can do to make everything greater and easier with your workflow and your projects, man. With all that said, I'm grateful. Next trip.